Right, hello everybody. This is a collaboration with quite a few others actually. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 on my list. Which is like Luise Heinzl. We have a little group with a few of us in, and she said, "Oh, do you fancy doing another fast flow stitching project? You know, because we done one last year, didn't we, with Joie DeFee?" So I thought, oh yeah, I'll join in again. So I've actually already videoed this part of the video, and I went to, edit it and everything, and I must have deleted it. So I'm redoing this bit. So you'll have to excuse me. I'll put all the description of everybody's channel in the description box, and I might put their names up on the screen now so you can see. So it was the actual, I'm just reading it now. We had to use, fast flow stitching, 4-colour challenge, and it was orange, red and green. Okay, so what I done, I've got loads of sari silk, okay, and I've got loads of like these strips, that you get, but they're wider than that. I actually do strip them down. Okay, I'm going to do a journal cover similar to what I done on the last one, but with 4 colours and slightly different. This was like a tablecloth type thing. I think it must be for Christmas or something, and I just cut that down. Okay, just strip that. This is a bit of gold net I used. This, that's sari silk. Oh, that was off the tablecloth as well. Okay, just strip down. And I use these bits sort of at the top of each one, so when I overlap and make the cover, I've got something to cover up the sort of straight line. So that's what I used on the top of each one. Right, yeah, there's all bits as well, all scraps. This was a garment that I cut down and used as well. That's in there. So all I do, okay, right, and you need a piece of whatever size you want to do. I do it slightly bigger, okay, than what I need, because you can trim down, okay. But the top, this one here, these ones I will sort of like keep like that. Then if you want to trim the bottom, I then tuck one underneath, which you will see me do that. Okay, so all I do is get like 2-inch strips, the same sort of length as that. Doesn't matter if it overhangs, it's not important. All right, so 2-inch strips. I think it was about 5 I done. Okay, but I might have done 6 because I noticed I had one spare. Yeah, so all you got to do, this is what I do, is I use glue. Just got to make sure before you stitch them, just make sure they are dry. Okay, and then you won't have a problem. You can do it with PVA if it's fine, but I tend to use a 3-in-1. I just do that, and like I said, I put one of these at the top of each one I do. Okay, and you'll see why in a minute. Okay, so that one I will make sure that's glued to the top like that. Okay. Okay. You need to get some strips. Make sure I have a gold piece in each one. Okay, as well, or even 2 bits of that gold. Oh, it was this. It's like cheap stuff, that you can get. It feels horrible, but it looks really good in this. So you get it on a roll. And then when I come to do this, I will let it do the fabric, do its own thing. If it's twisted, it's twisted. I'm not worried. Okay. Because the time you go over everything, you really don't see any of it like that. I'll just get my scissors. Okay. And just keep going down like that. See how that's all twisted? Yeah, just let it do its own thing. Like that. So a bit gold. Sometimes I will actually put the gold through here. Yeah. Sometimes I'll do that as well. Okay. And I need a bit of glue on this bit there. I need to fill up my glue, and it's starting to squeeze now. I don't like that. I like it to just fall out. Okay. And twist it. There you go. Okay. Just leave that go a minute. Okay, and you can also do that with knitting yarn. You can, you know, place a bit of that on the top, and you can actually do that as you stitch if you want. Right, I will put a little bit here. It's just really easy, and it's surprising what a great effect it has. Let me fill up my glue a minute, because it is down low. So, okay, filled that up. It'll work better now. There we go. And you see me twisting that then? Yeah. This one does show the glue through though. I will say it doesn't like the glue much, but you just go over it. Go over it with a bit of net. It's just a nice colour, so that's why I wanted to use it, but it doesn't like the glue much. Don't have to be 2-inch strips. Can be 1.5, and just do more of them. Just sort of judge it what the size journal you're doing. So you might only want to do a small one. So do less, like that. And one more, I think. So a bit of orange. Okay, got a tiny bit of a gap along here, so I would put some through there. If your hands get sticky, I suggest you wipe them off, all right? Because once you start sticking to everything, then you'll pull it up, because it is only just lightly tacked down. Okay, and that's what you can do just to fill in. Okay, that's it. Right, so you do as many as you need. Those. Just give them a bit of a trim. Okay, then I would say do, you know, like 5 or 6. Right, I think I've got it in frame. Okay, now I'm setting mine to straight stitch, but quite open. Okay, so I think I'll just do it a little tiny bit bigger. I got it at 2.8, just because we're really just tacking, because once we put it onto the fabric, we stitch again, and I literally just do some, just go anywhere, if you know what I mean. I try and pick up the bits. Okay, now if you come to here, you see that might flick up. So I have like a skewer, like this. Okay, and I will just push that down there, okay? That's what I tend to do, something you can see, and I'll just do that all the way down. Honestly, it doesn't matter, and I'll go back down again. I'm not too worried about the top or the bottom because we stitch that, don't we, when we stitch it onto the fabric. So just make sure it's dry before you do it. Right over there. And let's just go down there a little bit more. I'm going to do once more, I think. Just catch some of this red. That's it. It's sorted. That's done. Okay, so see what I mean? Any old owl. So you got that? Okay. Right, trouble is, I've got to move this back and then I've got to stitch again. I can't show you any other way. Okay, never mind. Right, okay, so I'll go and get the fabric now and do the next bit and then we'll stitch again. Okay, I've got nowhere to move that out of the way, you see. Right, at least I know how to set it up here now. Right, I'm hoping that's okay. So I've got my bit of fabric and now we stick these on. I couldn't find my glue then because I moved it. Okay, so again, I'll just, oh, I know what I was going to do first, just to show you, see what we got. Like, the frill goes at the top, okay, so we just try and pan this out. Right, and that's a different colour, all right, so that could go there. Let's have a look. What other colour we got? We got like a rusty colour. Here we go. That's quite nice. So you go the orange again. There, and then finish with an orange. Okay, right. We could do with there's probably a frill on the bottom of that one, couldn't we? Yeah, that's all right. We can do that one. We might even, that's quite high, so no, I'm going to leave it. I'll tell you why, because that's quite tall and we can cut this down. Okay, and then I would put something underneath. That is sort of basically it. Yeah, right, so let's do it that way. Let's put them down that way so I know which ones to go next. There we go. There. And then again, just tacking it on. Wasn't running at all. There we go. Put that over that one, you see, and that covers that bottom. Just wide enough, that one, but it's fine. There's a little tiny bit of a gap there, but I will leave it. Okay, and I'll show you how to do that when we stitch down. Okay, right, so we let that dry. Okay, it's a tiny little gap there, but we'll just see how it is after we've stitched it once, okay? Sometimes it's fine. And sometimes you just put a bit, you can even just put a bit of this through. Like there. I always do it when I'm stitching, so. Yeah, alright, so I'm going to leave that now. And I'm going to stitch over it first and then see, and give it a check. Alright, but I think we're looking alright actually. Yep, okay. Right, so it's all dry now. So I will now stitch up. And again, you can just go where you want. Let's go find a foot pedal. Right. Okay. A little bit lumpy here. Come on. There we go. Okay. Got no more room. Yeah, should be fine. So again, I'm just literally. I'm not worrying too much about the outside, if you know what I mean. I'm just going to put that down there because I'll flip that up. Because when I do the actual cover, I will be stitching around that area, so I'm not sort of worrying about that at all. Okay. I'm just going to go down a little bit here. Trying to catch, you know, these bits where we've overlapped. All right. Just gonna put that down. I'll show you what I do. I just usually tuck that under there, like that. Okay. And I'll twist the fabric. Okay. I'm just going to catch that first, right? And then I'll move that into there. Twist a bit more. Okay. And that will go in there. Push that down. That's it. And same here. That's it. And then we have a little bit here. Okay. So what I'm going to do is just going to cut that thread a minute. There we go. Let's cut it. Let's put that in there. Put the machine over it. Okay, and do that. Perfect. Do the same thing if you need to tuck underneath. Then I usually got my foot off. It's like driving a car, and I just take my foot right off. So okay. Oops, look at that. Couldn't do that again if I tried. Put that. Okay. Brilliant. Right. We've done all that. Yeah. Oh, my cat's been so annoying today. The girls are in the shop, you see, and he loves them, doesn't he? So he wants to be with them. Okay, I just caught a bit of the wool there, look. That does happen sometimes. Tommy, stop it. There we go. Take the needle. I'm going to put that in there. There we go. It's a little bit for me because I'm hitting the back. I've got nowhere for the fabric to go while I'm doing this, so sometimes it might look like it's not going anywhere. I just want to put something in there. There's a little bit here, look. Right, so I cut that, and I'm going to see if there's any bits that I need to fill in. That's pretty good, you know. I think we've done it, so maybe a little bit there, look. Yep, so Might not have stitched properly down there, so what I'll do, I'll stitch all the way down to there. And look at that. And that's great. Right. So I would get the size of the journal now. Okay. So I think mine is a bit tall, so that's why I didn't worry about down here, because this is where I'll take this bit off. Okay. Right, I'll put my sewing machine away now, or the other side. Okay. That, oh, just, if only you knew how that feels absolutely gorgeous. It really does. Right, okay, I'll be back in a minute. Right, okay, so that's sort of how it is. That's going to be, that could be the top or the bottom. That really depends on what you want. Okay, because we can put some of this up there, or we can put it down here. It's up to you, really, when you come to that. Let's have a look at that. So if we put that, I've cut one side, you know, fairly square. Okay, good. I find that part quite difficult. Okay, I'm with you on that. I just cut it. I usually do it to a template of a piece of card. This is going to be the inside. I don't need anything more on there. That is quite thick enough, to be honest. And then I will trim the other side, but it just depends. That could be, because that's going to be stitched down. That's going to be a pocket. The bit I cut off this side will be stitched onto here, but I will add some more onto that. Yeah, and we just got to level up that side. So I tend to, I think that's about right. So we need to come in a little bit, because this is the right size. It's usually about 12 inches across. Well, it's a little bit more. That's all right. That's fine. Yeah. Let's have a look. So I could come in a bit more, actually. Yeah. I am. I'm going to come in to about there. So right, okay, there's my mark. So let's mark that. I'll just mark a little bit away from it, and then I'll make sure I go on the inside of that. And again, 12 inches. Up in there. 12. Yeah, just come in a little bit. Sorry, I have to, because I don't want to get that pen there. So I'll just come in a bit. Okay. I really don't, not that I hate it, but I don't like this bit. Not with fabric. Card, no problem at all. So we are going to come into there. All right, that's all right. That's there. Okay. All right, I'll do that with pencil now, or disappearing pen. And the inside there. Like that. And I'll cut along that altogether. That's how I do it. Okay. Yeah, like that. That's fine. Okay, so if that's going to be our front, which is going to be right there. Okay, the top is all right, but we could, this is what I do, is I actually put this on the inside, which I'll do now, and then when it's stitched, it catch it, or you can stitch it now. I've got to do the pocket, haven't I? So I might just stitch along that bit. Sorry, but I have had the fly spray out. Don't like using that stuff at all, but it's everywhere at the moment. Okay, so that helps that bit. Yeah, and when that's stitched down, you don't see that. And you can also do it along the side if you want. I'm not really fussed, but okay, let's see what we want. Okay. Yeah, I tried to do this 12 inches by about 8 1/4, but that fits my pages, all right? So it might not fit yours. I mean, this is the back, if you know what I mean. So I haven't stitched down there at all yet. Okay, that's far too wide, really. I think that actually will be okay. Yep, I'm going to do that as well. Let's move that out of the way. Well, once I've stitched that'll lay flat into that, then I can fray that, and I'm going to do the same with this one as well. Okay, yeah, that's great. That will work. Right, so I'm going to go ahead and just stitch that on, just so I can show you, and then fray it. So I've got to do that as well, even though I know we're going to stitch over it again, but that's okay, because we haven't done much stitching top and bottom of that at all, you see, purposely. Yep, do that. Then I'll tell you what I will do as well while I'm there, while I'm stitching, is this pocket. Okay, and I will stitch that onto there, plus add a little bit more. So let's just put a little bit of glue on there. Right, so I'll go ahead and do that because it's just the same as what you've seen me do, but I shall stitch that open on like that. All right, and here I shall just stitch down there straight and there straight for now. All right, okay, so that's all done. All right, that's stitched onto there. Yep, like that, and then that's there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to slightly glue mine, because you would pin things like this, but I'm just going to tack it on a little bit, not use much glue though, because I think you'll see it through that fabric. So I will do that. Okay, and then just make sure there's no lumps of glue. That's nice and lined up. Actually, I haven't got any glue on there. It's hardly tacky at all. That was skimping a bit. I think that is it. Yeah, so my bobbin thread is going to be the same colour as all my threads, yeah. And then we've got our pocket in there as well now. Okay, and then this is going to be our cover, yeah. And then this I'll raggedy a bit more. Lovely. Yeah. Oh, so nice. So tactile. So anyway, really, that. Yeah, I don't want to see that white thread through it, so. Right, I shall wind my bobbin thread, and first thing I'll stitch is along here. Okay, get that nice and flat. Just making sure I can't see anything. I think we're all right there. Yeah, that's fine. And then you can do one in the middle and then one either side if you want to create a bit of a spine. I've done that before, but I'm not sure yet. Okay, right, so that's all finished. Yeah, we'll stitch around. I mean, when you sew the signatures in, that sews that in as well. Okay, unless you do make a spine, or sometimes I will stitch down the middle and then equal parts that side, so that it's about 1.25 inches or something like that. Just depends. I'm not sure what's going in it yet, because I haven't done a cover for, I haven't done anything for it. I will pop the journal I'm working on in there in a minute, but it doesn't go. All right, because I've got lace and all that hanging here, and it's not for that sort of thing. I've got these leaves, and because I also have this, and I think this is rather beautiful, and it works really well with this. So one minute, I've got to get the journal pages. This is what made me decide what I was going to do. Right, so you have to excuse this. This does not go, you know, this doesn't really go with it. Plus, I'm working on some snippets for the top here, because, like I said, sometimes you get all the pockets and everything down here, and then you get a skinny bit there. So if you have like a snippet or a paper clip or something, this will bulk this out. And I've got a couple of top pockets as well that need stuff in, so that bulk that out to make it more equal. But at the moment it looks a bit odd when you put it in here, but it's nice to see where it's going, yeah, which is about right. So I had that, so I've done that, and I had this. Okay, so I put this around, and I thought, well, you need something on the front, but of course really should have been thought out before, because I could have stitched those leaves on, but we shall have to make it work, because I didn't think of it. I do work like that, folks. Yeah, I'm sorry, but I can never, I'm not a planner. I'm just a doer. And I tend to end up crafting with what's around me, even when I'm supposed to be doing something else. I could pick up something and I wander off, and, you know, oh, look, we'll do something else now. Yeah, that's just my attention span. Right, so I sort of had that, and I thought, do you know what, that works so beautifully. And then I thought, well, what can I put, you know, there? And I come up with these 3 leaves. Okay, I've actually stitched over them because I wanted them a little bit sort of grungier, you know, because they're quite shiny, but they're fine now. And I thought I sort of tucked them behind there. This is before I stitched them onto this. And I just thought that looks right poking out of there. There. So if I'd thought about it first, I would have stitched that onto the cover before I'd done the inside, but I didn't. But I think that works, and it seems to go. And then you imagine them going through the journal as well, okay, rather than seeing this lace there at the bottom. So, but actually bringing that in, this in, would help with bringing this, do you know what I mean, into the journal. So that's okay too, actually. But I think I'm going to sort of put that there, really. And then we could always stitch like autumn. Actually, autumn in fabric would have been nice. But I'm going to leave it at that. Okay, so I'm going to stick this on. I think that's about right there, isn't it? And then I can trim. I don't really want to trim this down until I've made the journal for it. So... but I won't be doing that this year. I've got to move on. I've got to finish the one I'm doing and get on with Halloween. I think that's about right. So we shall stick this down now. This is 3-in-1, or Fabri-Tac will work brilliantly for that. So... and you can always put a few tack stitches on as well if you wanted to. And stitch it, because you can, you know, stitch under there. So there's ways around it. So I'm going to glue this, and I'll most probably do a couple of stitches around. I'm sort of scrunching the leaves up a bit as well. It's just easier to do a cover when there's something inside it. Right. So let's squish that down a bit like that. I think we've managed it, don't you? And it will look like it's stitched on. There we go. Sorry, I can't put the ribbon on yet until it's a bit dry there. That's too wet. So I'll come back in a minute and then show you completed. Okay, all done. All right. As you know, the journals, this isn't the journal that's going in there. I'm just doing it for, just showing you. Okay. Right. For those of you who've actually watched all the way through, okay, I am, you'll know now, I'm actually going to give this cover away. Okay, and I will put a kit together, okay, of all different ephemera, some, you know, bits and pieces and everything. A nice kit to say to do a journal. Okay, so if you want to comment below, I will put you all into a draw to win this. But it would be nice if you could do something for me, and that is to watch everybody else's video as well. Because it, you know, it is a collaboration, and it's amazing. I think Luise Heinzl sorted this one out. I think it was Joie before. So, and a lot of work goes in behind sort of organising everybody, especially with the likes of me, because I'm totally disorganised. And so it's brilliant. So that you can get a chance to win this. It's open to anywhere in the world. Okay, I do not mind. All right, but like I said, it won't be the journal inside. I will do you a kit, some nice pages, some vellum as well, maybe some scrapbooking paper, some book papers, just enough to do, you know, maybe a 3 signature journal, or even just a big single one. Okay, and you've got a chance to win. All right, so I hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you very much for watching, everybody. Speak to you soon. Bye.